Hey everyone, great to see you all again. Thanks for joining us for our second parent training video. Today we're going to be discussing functions of behavior, and these trains here are going to help us understand them a little better. You all may be asking yourself, Kyle, what's a function? And why is it important that I know what it is? Well, the function or the purpose of your child's behavior is specific to the present antecedents and consequences in the environment. If you remember from our last video, the antecedent is the trigger that comes immediately before a behavior, and the consequence is something that happens immediately after and as a result of the behavior. If you haven't seen our previous video, I strongly encourage you to go check that out. Some consequences after a behavior can be reinforcing to current behaviors and help us identify why a behavior occurs and is maintained. In behavior analysis, there are 4 major functions of behavior. Number 1, access. The function of access is best described in terms of an individual's movement in the environment to obtain a specific tangible item, the participation of a preferred activity, or spending time with a preferred person. Examples could be child screaming for an ice cream, or a boy tantruming for screen time on his tablet. Moving on to number 2, attention. The function of attention is one that most parents are very familiar with. Attention is best described as an observable behavior, actions, sounds, that leads others in the environment to respond, either physically or verbally, showing attention. So, great examples could be a boy screaming while his mother's on the phone, and mom having to stop her conversation and ask what they need. A girl jealous and pushes her sibling who is getting that one-on-one time with mother, so mother will respond with her. All right, number 3. Escape, also referred to as avoidance. The function of escape or avoidance can be referred to as any behavior an individual exhibits with the goal of removing theirself from an environment or an aversive situation. Or the behavior prolongs or even delays the presentation of a task or demand or changes in the environment. Very plainly, escape is any attempt to avoid a task, demand, or environment. This can be property destruction to be removed from a classroom, or a child screaming while sitting on Santa's lap, so mom will pick her up. And then finally, number 4, automatic or sensory. In the field of behavior analysis, we work with many neurodivergent behaviors. When these behaviors are exhibited, they are automatically reinforcing to the individual. This means the act of engaging in the behavior in turn reinforces the behavior. Prime examples of these behaviors could be rocking back and forth, hand flapping, humming or auditory production, and more. While the functions of these behaviors are not limited to just these examples or to just neurodivergent individuals, rather, these behaviors can be displayed across neurotypical individuals as well. So, great examples for me would be, bouncing my leg, or clicking a pen, pacing while talking on the telephone. Sometimes I play with a fidget spinner or ball. These are all examples of automatic behaviors. Alright everybody, let's test our knowledge. Today, we're going to take a trip to the function junction, where I give you a scenario, and you all decide what you think the function of that behavior is. Here we go. Number 1. Timmy is in math class, his least favorite subject. Today is test day, and when the teacher hands out the test to all the students, Timmy begins to push everything off his desk into the floor, causing distractions for the other students. The teacher reprimands him and sends him to the principal's office. So, what was the possible function of Timmy's behavior? That's right. The most likely function of Timmy's behavior is escape. The task in particular, being sent to the principal's office, removed him from the less desirable environment. What do you think Timmy will do in other classes he does not like? That's right. If the behavior is met with the consequence of being removed from a less desirable environment, he's more likely to engage in the same behaviors. Number 2. Jason is at the store with his mother. While walking through the store, he spots a toy that he really wants. He asks his mother if he could have a toy. His mother says, "Not right now." Jason begins to tantrum in the aisle, screaming, "I want that toy!" After a few moments to avoid the stares from other shoppers, Mom agrees to let him get the toy. Jason immediately stops tantruming. What is the most possible function of Jason's behavior? That's right. The most reasonable function for Jason's behavior is access. Jason is engaging in disruptive behavior to get what he wants, or access to a preferred item. What do you think Jason will do in the future when he sees the toy aisle? That's right, he will be more likely to engage in tantrums to get what he wants. Number 3. Brandon sits in his room by himself and spins in his chair. What is the most probable function of Brandon's behavior? That's right. The most possible function of Brandon's behavior is sensory or automatic. The act of spinning in his room is an automatic reinforcing value for Brandon and does not rely on any external responses from anyone or anything. Number 4. Sam starts screaming when his mother is talking on the phone. Mom stops talking and speaks with Sam. Immediately when Mother begins talking on the phone again, Sam begins to scream again. What is the most possible function of Sam's behavior? In this case, it would be attention. It is the most probable function of Sam's behavior. With the divided attention of Mom talking on the phone, Sam engages in disruptive behavior to get Mom's attention. And once Mom stops speaking with Sam and returns to the phone conversation, he begins to scream again. What do you think Sam will do in other situations in which his attention is divided? Yes, you're right. There is a very good chance that Sam will engage in disruptive behavior in order to gain attention, which reinforces his behavior. So circling back to my original question, why is it important that we know what functions of behaviors are? Well, my friends, as soon as we know what the function of a behavior is, then we can work together to develop strategies to either alter or eliminate them. Alright everyone, it's homework time. Last video, you became familiar with identifying the ABCs of behavior. And now we're going to take that a step further and use those skills to help identify possible functions of behavior. With using ABC data collection, you will start to notice a trend as behaviors start to occur. With that information, you may be able to start guessing what the possible functions of behavior is. So, looking ahead over the next 2 videos, we'll be covering prevention strategies that not only give you proactive strategies to use, but also reactive strategies to use with each function of behavior. We will also be going over reinforcement, which will help us develop and encourage alternative forms of behavior. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, and if you have any questions or would like to see a specific topic covered in our series, reach out to social media. And as always, have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you all next time.